Dustin's still fixing up his hair, so we'll start with a little intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
What's up, y'all? Let's go. Dustin's going to be joining us in just a second. Good to be back. Good to be back. This is what I was doing to pass the time right here. I'll share this. We'll draft together until our man Dustin shows up. Okay. So we'll draft together until Dustin shows up. Doing a little underdog. Hey, here's a little bit how my day went. All right. I haven't worked out yet today, but I've already closed my rings. I've already closed my activity ring. For those that don't know, that is 800. What is it? 800 calories burned or something today. That is what I've done already. And it is from freaking doing laundry in the city. Okay. If there's a lot of upside to living in the city, but some of the downside is that right there. It's having to deal with laundry in the city. So we actually had the like the snake draft here. So we went Steph Curry, De'Aaron Fox. But yeah, that is so already closed the rings. We've done some laundry. We've taken the dog out a few times, and then working harder than the couple last night. That couple was working hard last night, though. Bottom saying he won 3 rewards on So Rare today, 2 limits and rare, all dupes. Oh, the dupe part is bad. I was lucky enough. I got a Jalen Johnson rare. So what's that? It was like a tier 4 or tier 3. Actually, I also did get some clarification on I was going to save this for what's it called, for Live Before Lock, but maybe it's a little less sporadic. I can tell you now. Although unless my DMs are down, or DMs down bad today, did Twitter go down? All right, hold on. Now I got it, but I got a little clarification on the tiered reward system. Ready? And I believe I can share this, and if not, they'll come for me. Oh, somebody said, "Were we drinking for happy hour?" Yeah. What's up, Taco Slayer? Shout out to So Rare in the States. We got a little Harpoon IPA today. All right, this is what we rocked. Oh, wait, am I okay? Yeah, here we go. So this is what I heard about the tiered rewards. It's definitely a work in progress and something we're always looking to improve. In U.S. sports, we have 5 tiers of players and place players into tiers based on their recent market values. We aim to have roughly the same percentage of players from week to week in each tier. So if many players get injured around the same time, that can affect the number of players in each tier. We try to avoid tiering injured players as much as possible. So I thought that was helpful just to get some of that info back, you know? All right, Botavine's out here. What are we having? We're having Brouwer's beer from Holland. Baby, cheap stuff. Cheers. All right, I love that. Yeah, is anybody else? Is it too early for some people to be getting after it? It's not too early for this man, though. It's not, but I'm gonna give him a second. He looks like he's still figuring his stuff out back there. So I'll give him a second. I'll wait till I get a thumbs up. Ransom Reed saying I like it being based on market value. Yeah, I think no matter which way they did it, there would be some complaints, but I do agree. I like that. All right, I saw him touch up the hair. I think, oh, he's good. Let's go. Let's do it. 1 p.m. in California. Dustin, what's going on, man?
Feeling good. Feeling the vibes. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, dude. I'm doing great. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah. It's I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to be back. Clearly I'm not in full up to full speed in the professionalism that you are here. I'm trying to get my audio situation properly set up. I'm still doing all the things. So yeah, you know.
I'm sorry if I brought you on too soon.
No, we're good. I'm good. I'm ready to go. I felt bad that I was late. But you know,
you're good.
we're back at it. We're back at it. It's good. Mike, you've been crushing it in these streets. People probably don't know who I am. They're like, Team Hold, where's this team?
That was, dude, the funniest thing, I mean, the funniest thing ever was when you and Greg came on specifically because it was the So Rare Live Before Lock show.
Yes.
So I think a lot of people, that's like the only show they watch. And they were like, yo, no disrespect. Who are these dudes?
Who are these ding dongs? I'm trying to get information that's about to lock. So we tried to stay quiet and let you do your thing for sure. But it's it's good to be back. Oh, I have a fun little thing to share here too. They just brought out this. People might know why, you know, in the Discord, it's Hola Polvitos, right? For what stuff that's in there. This is where it stems from. So my grandpa made this for me years ago. He made this he carved it and did all this stuff in there. So he made that. I found it. I've always saved it since I was little. But that's where it stems from. It means little dust.
That's awesome.
Yeah, little dust.
He made that?
He carved it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Was that like his profession, or was that just like a skill that he had?
It's just Mexican people doing work, man. That they just figure it out. That was definitely not his profession, but he made it. So
that's dope.
But yeah.
Dustin, what have you been up to, man? What's been going on? Take me through. Like, I feel like this should be like dealer's choice. Like, what do you want to do today? What do you want to do in this hour?
I was gonna try and complain about Troy Brown Jr. getting fouled on that 3-point attempt. I'm gonna leave it in the past. I'm gonna leave it in the past.
We could do it for a second. I mean, I thought it was a foul too. I was surprised. I mean, everybody thought it was a foul. I was surprised.
A foul. Everyone thought it was a foul because it was a foul.
Yeah, the only dialogue I saw was like, well, technically, if it's like the high five thing, I'm like, I don't know. That seemed a little bit more. I had just woken up too, so I was like a little confused with what was happening. But I was like, oh yeah, that's a foul. I thought they were reviewing it too, and they were like, no, we're just going to timeout.
No, that's what I thought too. It felt like, oh, maybe they're gonna, maybe something's gonna happen after the fact. No, that was it. It was bad, and it just felt like the culmination of like. We might be able to get this. No, we're not going to be able to get this because it kept extending, and you knew Luka was going to make those shots that he did every single time.
The second one, like where LeBron was complaining at the end of the second one, though, that one was so funny too because I was like, man, the Lakers are really going to get screwed here. And then they showed the replay, and I was like, oh no, there was nothing there at all. Like that was, but it was really funny because the way he was reacting, I was like, oh wow, dude, Wood must have got him on like the back of the head, and I was like, nah, that was pretty clean.
No, that was probably okay, but the Troy Brown Jr. one, I don't know. It's look, I always stay optimistic for my Lakers, and it was fun to think, hey, maybe we're going to steal this one at home and kind of stay in the mix is what we wanted. But yeah, that's it on basketball. I think for happy hour, just with what we've got here, I think I wanted to talk a little entertainment, right? I think that's always fun.
We haven't done that in a while.
We haven't done that in a while. I want the Globes just happen, and the Globes take it or leave it, whatever it is, it's its own thing. But I thought nonetheless, it's fun to talk about what was nominated, what won, and then to see if you're watching any of this stuff, if anyone in the crew's watching it, like where's everybody's heads at on some of this stuff.
So I'm usually way more up to date on this stuff, to be honest, especially the Golden Globes, because they usually have the people that I like the most. That that's more
it's
like
an entertainment show. Yeah,
exactly. And I'm getting like the comedians that I usually like to host it.
Right.
I didn't get a chance to watch it. Jared Carmichael hosted, right? Gerard Carmichael, excuse me.
Yeah, he hosted it. How did he watch the whole thing? It was fine. I think it was weird. The Globes were back, and it was it was fine. I don't think there was anything one way or the other. I think people were just kind of excited to see some of their shows, like nominations, winners, all that kind of stuff. It was fine. But I thought it was just good to see like people were excited about getting wins for sure. There were a few that I was really excited about. So I could run through some of them here, and then you can kind of tell me your thoughts on things, if you're watching them or not, and chime in on all of this stuff. I'd love to hear.
While you pulling that up, Veronica was saying, is if the Emmys is TVs and the Oscars are movies, what is the Globes? It's drunk both.
Yes. So the Golden Globes are done by the HFPA, which is the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. So it's all international voters, and they create their own thing. But yes, the Emmys are the thing. The Oscars are the main thing, and the Globes are just sort of like this weird in between where it's like Hollywood Foreign Press, and it's kind of like where everyone kind of let loose. It's the warm up. It doesn't. It's not really indicative of what. It's not really indicative of what the Oscars are going to be. I think the Critics' Choice are technically a little bit closer as to what this would be. Yeah. But these are just like everyone lets loose. Everyone has a few too many cocktails. They have a good time. No one takes it too seriously, but it's still fun to win. You know, you get the W, you're still happy you win.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I love too is it ends up being, I think people read into it a little too much, but everyone's like, oh, based on the Globe run, does that mean it's going to be the Emmy run? And usually no, but
right.
But it's fun.
Some of it, definitely not for motion pictures. I'd say for TV and series and stuff, maybe. But for movies, I mean, the joke around town is that they like movie stars to attend their event. So those people get nominated. I think famously many moons ago, Johnny Depp was nominated for Best Actor for, I'm blanking on the movie, but it was something that had like 25% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Hell yeah.
It was like a weird offshoot movie, but he was just, it got him to attend. That's what they do, right? Yeah, I mean, perhaps if that's what you do. But yeah,
I saw. Oh, I'm sorry. You were gonna run through some stuff. You go, and then I'll chime in.
No, if you have questions on it, we're here. That's it.
I was really excited. Like I feel like, especially during basketball season, I pare down what I'm watching because I'm trying to stay on top of a lot of the basketball stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm only like cherry picking a few things right now. But I really do think, and I'm caught up in it right now, so it's like hard to take myself out of it and be objective. I think Abbott Elementary is going to go down as like one of the best comedies in that type of genre. Like I think it's already surpassed what Parks and Rec did.
Yes, for that genre, it's winning everything. It's a fan favorite.
It's just like the way that they've identified, like they know exactly what they are, who the characters are, what the show is, and they just hit home runs like week after week, and it's just fun and it's easy. So I was cool to see them win because usually the shows like that don't win. So it was nice to.
I think it's becoming a little bit of This Is Us, where it's like, everyone, that show's just going to get nominated. Everyone's going to get nominated. Probably a bunch of people win. It's it's hit its stride right now. Yeah. So I think we'll probably see a little bit of that. What I'll do is I'll pull up just the winners, and again, these are the Golden Globes, so it's not indicative of where things are going to head for that, but it's fun to look at it. And then I think it just brings up the conversation. Are you watching that show? Did you watch it?
Yeah.
And fun fact for everyone, I actually am an Academy member, so I will be voting on the Oscars.
Oh,
so you know,
let's go.
We'll I can't reveal stuff. I don't know if there's rules to the game for that, but
no, you just can't bet on it.
Yeah, maybe not.
It's like,
all right, let's see.
It's like basketball writers where they can't bet on like MVP because they have an MVP vote.
That makes sense. All right, here we go. So this is I blew it up. So I'm starting at the bottom, by the way, and then we'll make its way to the top for those that didn't actually follow along or maybe even care about all this stuff. But Eddie Murphy won the Cecil B. It was like a Lifetime award, which is kind of cool to see him up there because when I was ducking in and out and I saw him on screen up there, and I thought to myself, wait, what is Eddie Murphy nominated for? What did he win for? Did I miss a movie where Eddie Murphy is amazing in something? Yeah. What happened? And no, it was a like a Lifetime Achievement Award. So I definitely didn't miss anything, which is good.
He is in that new movie with Jonah Hill that I kind of want to watch.
Yes. So it's called God, I'm blanking on the name now. It's called You People.
Oh, that's
which looks really funny. It's a Netflix movie coming out at the end of the month. Yeah. I highly encourage everyone. So they did 2 trailers. The first one's fine. I highly encourage everyone to watch the second trailer. It's Jonah Hill. It's Nia Long. It's Eddie Murphy, and I think it's Lauren London. And Jonah Hill is that's who he wants to marry, and he's like, I feel like finally someone gets me, and it's a lot of comedy and fun stuff, but it looks like a great I'm firing this up for the weekend.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it looks really good. Everyone should watch the trailer. It's fun. So this is the best original song. I was definitely biased in hoping that Rihanna would win for "Lift Me Up," but RRR from Not To Not To One, which is fine. All a lot of great A lot of great categories and things. It's best original score. Babylon. I have still not seen Babylon. I will see it at some point. I have to see everything. But interesting movie is what I've heard.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
I've also heard a little like Boogie Nights ish.
Yeah,
but like times 10. So Boogie Nights is great, but I don't know.
10.
Yeah, like maybe too much. Like maybe they cranked it too far. I don't know.
Yeah, that's too far.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Abbott Elementary here.
Hell
winner.
yeah.
So best performance by an actor.
I didn't realize that was the dude from Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah, it's him. He's all grown up.
That's amazing. Yeah. And then I saw he was in I don't know if it was GQ or Men's Health or something, and I was like, that's bullshit. Like because he's also ripped, and I'm like, you can't do.
No, you can't do that. It's one or the other, man.
Yeah,
you can't be all things at once.
Yeah, either be the dorky, funny guy in the show. I mean, it's not dorky, but you can't be ripped in that scenario.
Yeah, we're not here for that. We're not having that. The Fonz got a lot of shout outs.
I just want to shut up Borland. That was a huge David Gray. Dude, Henry Winkler in Barry is really, really good. And I'm curious now if Barry won anything or if we just that came out.
I don't think Barry won anything. I'll look. I don't think it won anything. But here's your boy John Turturro, Severance. You're a big Severance guy. I never finished it.
You never finished it?
Never finished it.
Oh yeah, big. Although I'm bummed my man Zach Cherry isn't on there. But yeah.
So I mean. Tyler winning, great. Abbott Elementary, I don't think I have any issues with most of this.
Look at all of those old fucks, and then Tyler James Williams.
I know, yeah.
Like Lithgow,
John Lithgow,
yeah. Price, Jonathan
Henry,
Price,
the Fonz.
Yeah,
but it's nice that the Fonz is still cooking. You know what I mean?
If you multiply Tyler by 3, and he's still younger than all those dudes, I think.
You're right. Wow. And he's coming out swinging. I love Ozark. I think Julie Garner is amazing, and I think I'm happy she won. She should win everything. No disrespect to everyone else here, but she is just phenomenal. Every time she's on screen in Ozark, you're so excited to see her speak.
Yeah, I will say, seeing Hacks up there and Hannah, I've been there. I'm a big fan of that show too. I think Hacks is like a really, really strong comedy. I like. Yeah,
Hacks. I've been hearing a lot about it.
Yeah, it's really good. But yeah, and then both of those Abbott Elementary actresses are great. Yep. But yeah, I'm with you. I still haven't finished the last half season or whatever it was of Ozark, but I'm a big Julia Garner fan too.
It's worth it. A lot of stuff happens. So I'm sure when the new season starts to get promoted, and you'll catch up.
Yeah. So I loved Blackbird. I really enjoyed this show.
Underrated.
And I'm really surprised that because I didn't think anybody watched that. Much like most of Apple TV's programming.
That's fair. I don't think Apple
I know
TV...
you can't. I'm sorry. I know you can't really because I feel like I'm the only one that watches Apple TV programming.
No, I watch it as well. I watch Blackbird. And it's funny. Our former president of marketing is now going over to Apple TV to run their marketing. So that's interesting. But it was a great show.
Let them know I said that.
Yeah, great show. Yeah, people need to watch their shows. They have a lot of decent shows in there. But White Lotus, you know, a lot of familiar shows in there too. And Pam and Seth Rogen. I don't even know that he should have been nominated. I think they were like, "Hey, he's gonna come to our show if we nominate him.
That feels Seth like
So that was interesting. Jennifer Coolidge for White Lotus.
This was the only thing I saw was her speech. And it was incredible. Her speech was so good. I love her. She's so for those that don't know, go find her super young, long time. I'm not talking about Stifler's mom. I'm way back. Go watch some of her sketch comedy stuff. God, she's so good.
Look at we're basically doing the marketing for Apple TV Plus. Look at this. Shout out Borland for watching it. Oh, For All Mankind, Bagmine. Yes. Yeah. Amazing show. Also on Apple TV Plus. I haven't finished the latest season. But another great show that is underrated that people are not watching.
And Slow Horses. I've been trying to get people to watch Slow Horses for years. That show is so good.
And also Taron Egerton is great in Blackbird. Yes. Perfect really Serial. Here you go. I mean, we're not here to pump other people's bags, but they've got a lot of stuff on there. All right, so we'll keep it going real quick. So we'll start getting. This was cool to see Ki-Hu win Kwan from back in the day, Indiana Jones and Data from Goonies, and there's a really interesting there's a really interesting roundtable where he's talking. It's with the Hollywood Reporter, and he talks about how he thought his career was going to take off, and it just it never gets there. And his phone stopped ringing, and it just was really hard to get a job. And then now he wins in this, which is incredible. And I encourage everyone to watch that interview with him where he talks about it, because it's really interesting. And he also notes, he's like, it wasn't until Crazy Rich Asians gained popularity that it was like, oh, like there's roles for us now. And it was like, it's just sad that he had to go through it. He's like, this was my dream. And I came to a point where I thought my dream is done. It's over. It's gone at such an early age with like great success. So it's sad to hear that story, but it's like a great turnaround for him. It's like really exciting to see that.
We're actually watching that tonight, I think.
Yeah.
We haven't seen that movie yet. I heard that was really good.
Yeah. I don't know if you've watched Banshees of, I don't know how you pronounce it. Inisherin?
Is that with Colin Farrell?
Yes.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. I don't even know how you explain it. It's very different. It's pretty slow, but it's unique. It has charm. It's dark. Barry Keoghan is great in it. I'm glad that he was nominated too. I don't know that he needed to win, but he's great in his role. It's a small role, it's a supporting role, but it's every time he comes on screen, you're like, this guy's good. Like, he's good. He's doing a good job. I like this character he's playing. It just feels real. So when you're watching that, and they say feckin' a lot. It's very Irish. They're in the middle of nowhere, and it's very odd and unique, but it's worth a watch. I think it's becoming a lot of people's a little bit of a favorite in certain circles.
That's on HBO now, right?
Yes, I believe it's on HBO Max. Yeah.
Okay.
And Brendan Gleeson's good in it too. But Barry Keoghan's really, really funny in it. This was amazing. Obviously, I'm very biased. I worked on Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
So Angela Bassett winning, I thought she was phenomenal in the movie, and she every scene she just dominates and is like gives an incredible performance. So it was nice to see that a win, get an actual win like this.
She's awesome too. So it is nice.
Yeah,
to see
she's incredible actress, and she gave a great speech. So if you haven't seen it, I encourage everyone to watch it. The Bear.
Where's
Jeremy
the Bear?
Allen won.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. He won.
That show was great, man. That show was great.
Show.
I think I told you this. I had like a handful of friends in the industry who have now like gone the other way where they don't like it. And I'm like, you know what? I don't need why? It's great. It's
very good.
Yeah, it's so good. I mean, whatever. I am a little surprised Donald Glover didn't get it, only because it was like the last season.
Final season.
And sometimes they do that.
Yeah, I could see that. I thought that too. And Bill Hader, I think he's sort of already been there. And I think these guys, Bill
Hader should have won all of the directing awards. I don't know if he did, but he should. I will say too, like Steve Martin and Martin Short, I think a lot of people don't give that show any credit because it looks a little goofy. Only Murders in the Building is really, really good. Like they do a great job of that.
I've heard it's a good show. Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a fun watch. And like, man, there's just something about like that. The trio, it looks like it shouldn't make sense on paper with Selena Gomez and those two goobers. And it's great. Yeah. It's so good.
I will say I was definitely surprised that he won for the Bear. Like he's really good in the show. And his character is it's fractured and it's got a lot of depth to it and all of that. Whether or not it was the best performance by an actor, I don't know.
Yeah,
I enjoyed him very much, and I also thought his cousin was very good.
Oh my god, yeah, he was awesome. He didn't get nominated.
No,
I thought that was one of like the best roles ever.
Yeah, he did a great job. The other thing I would say is there is one specific scene. I think we might have talked about this before. If you watch The Bear, there's one scene where Jeremy Allen White, I don't know, I can't remember his name, Carmy,
yeah,
right? There's a scene where he is talking. He's been holding back the weight of all of this with the passing of his brother, right? And he finally lets everything out and kind of opens up. And that scene is like I don't know how many pages of dialogue it was. It has to be at least like 5 to 7 minutes long straight. Yeah. And there's no edits. There's no cuts. It doesn't go to a different camera. It's him telling the story where he's just dumping it all out. And it is in it. It's like what he's been, I'm sure, doing his whole career leading up to that moment. And
Yeah.
you're like, holy shit, what an amazing performance in this scene, because it's highs, it's lows. He tells jokes while he has tears, then he's holding back the tears, he lets them out, but then he, like I'm saying, he lets a little smile out of while he's telling something humorous while he's crying. And like, it's a whole roller coaster of emotions that is one take and there's no edits. And I don't even know how many times I had to redo that scene to get it. Because you want to do it and you also want to cut it and maybe get let's get some edits and maybe we'll get some pickups in case we got to cut or whatever the case may be. But when you watch it, that doesn't happen, and it is straight through, and it is phenomenal. It is that scene alone is worth watching the show. You got to get to it though. Don't jump right to it. Get to it so it means a lot more. But it's just like a masterclass in acting.
That's how I felt with that. I think it's like the penultimate episode, the second to last episode, where it's like only 20 minutes long. And it's all in the kitchen. It's that like chaotic scene, and it doesn't spoil anything. But when I learned, I didn't realize this after, because you're kind of so sucked into what's happening.
Right.
That was a one shot. They did a full episode with like no, and he was like, yeah, we rehearsed it 4 times, and then I think they shot it twice, and that was it. In like one take, I mean, like, oh my God, that's like theater. That's incredible.
I'm a sucker for those, because my brain immediately goes to the back end of how they had to do that, how they had to accomplish it, how everyone had to have all of their lines delivered, great timing. Yes, the blocking, the camera shots, the people following around. There's even some scenes when you see that, I notice it in everything I watch. The extras in the background can't fuck up. They got to be on point.
Everybody has to know where
everyone's got to hit their thing. Like nothing.
It's why I will always love season 1 of True Detective so much, because of that. I think it's that like 15-minute scene at the end of the 4th episode, and I was like, wait, oh my God, this is like a one shot through like not multiple locations, but like houses, like they were moving, and I was like, I can't believe they're doing this. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things when I see it happen, because I always go to everyone's got to get this right, and if you're the director, you can't be like, it's probably our best take. Like, I think you have to go for it, right? We got to do it again, guys. And you have to do multiple takes,
especially wrangling extras too, like to try to, because they're not. God, I can't imagine being. That's anyways. Shout out to Bear.
Shout out to Bear. Watch that scene.
Also, our man Osgun, he's probably only been here for So Rare Stuff. Yeah, baby, we're just talking some sweet content with our man Dustin for an hour and having a little beer.
Yeah, this is I can provide zero of the information Mike can, so this is where I try to help out, and I talk entertainment. So if you're watching anything, let me know.
There you go. Weisberg. I know we were on the same page with the True Detective scene.
Love it. Look at this one. Yeah, Johnny Drama did a great one-shot monologue of 5 Towns. I think it was NBC, right? 5 Towns, one of the best shows ever.
Dude,
right?
Shout out Johnny Drama.
Johnny Drama. Here's a fun thing that shout out Mario. He sent this to me, found on Reddit. He found something on Reddit, and it was on the Entourage subreddit. And it said it was Chat GPT. It said, write an episode of Entourage in the year 2038. And it spit out this whole storyline about how they're going to make a movie in virtual reality. And then they're all like, yeah, I want to do it. And E's very skeptical. He's like, I don't know, Vince. I don't know. He's classic. And then what's his name? Jeremy Piven, Ari. He like runs a VR studio. And he's like, we got to make it. We got to make it, baby. Let's go. And it's just ridiculous, but it's funny. It's funny to see that kind of stuff. So anyways, shout out Johnny Drama. And Johnny Drama is also like, hey, if it's a role for me in there,
Yeah, shout out Quinta Brunson. I was reading something about her recently too, where she was like, yeah, if this didn't work, like nothing was going to work. Like if this was like the one thing that I knew was great. And if this wasn't going to happen, like it just wasn't going to happen for me. Right. And I just know so many people who have gotten to that point too. Yeah. And so like, it's just great to see, like, I don't know. I root for people like this.
Her trusting her gut, her knowing like, no, this can work. This can work. Like if it doesn't, then nothing will. Like there's no salt. There's no, like, if I had done this, it's either it's this or it's just not going to.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. So.
But yeah, so that was cool. What were we going to say on any? Jenny Ortega on Wednesday. I don't know if you've watched Wednesday.
I haven't watched Wednesday yet. It's on my list. I need to watch Wednesday. I don't think Selena. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish off the rest.
I like Selena Gomez, but I just can't believe that this is like she made this cut.
Yeah.
Jean Smart on Hacks. I'm surprised Jean Smart didn't win, only because Jean Smart is insane in that show. She's so good. And I was gonna say the Flight Attendant, I like kind of enjoyed the first season, but not enough that I watched the second season.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this isn't dissing Selena Gomez's acting, but you were saying you're a little surprised she's there. I think they would like that Selena Gomez would attend their event.
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit of that at play. But fun thing on Selena, I'm going to pivot on this quickly. Because it's been sort of like hitting my For You page on TikTok. There are these old photos of when Selena was dating Justin Bieber that have like been like, and they have like a carousel feature on TikTok now. And it's photos of Selena Gomez with like her Mexican family, like true Mexicano family. Like they're like, I know it when I see it. Like I've been to those houses. Those are my family, my relatives. And like Bieber's there at the house and he's like 16-year-old because he's like dating and he's like holding a baby in his lap at like the dining table. But it's and like he's taking pictures with the uncles and they have tequila and they're like, it's like very Mexican shit. You know what I mean? That you see. And it was just so funny. And all the comments are like, how have I never seen these photos? I can't believe this is real. And I'm only seeing it now because you just know it when you see it. And it's just hilarious. But anyways, what I was going to say on Wednesday is that it's very well made. It is, it's very well made. She's amazing in the show. She like every time she's on screen, you're like, oh wow, she's such a good Wednesday and she's doing such a great job. It's a little, I've likened it to this. What I've told some people is that it's like, I feel like it's Gen Z's Harry Potter.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of that actually.
It's got a lot of similarities to that. And it's funny because when I've talked to like, younger millennials on my team, they're Potterheads, right? Or whatever they grew up with. And I mentioned this, they're like, oh, I just couldn't get into the show. It's too young for me. And I'm like, oh, wow. Like it's the next generation's Potter, I think, in a little bit of ways. Like, I don't want to say full, I don't want to say a full thing. I think also Percy Jackson is that too. But I think this is something that, and it's funny because I was a little too old for Potter. Mm-hmm. So I was like, it's too young for me. So now they're in that zone where they're seeing this like, it's too young for me. And I'm so old that I'm just looking at it now. I'm watching it with my son. I'm watching with Wesley. And he's like, let's watch another episode, Daddy. Like he's into it, I don't even know if he's technically Gen Z or whatever. They should just call him the iPad generation, but he loves it. And it's really well done. Yeah. Christina Ricci's It Will Always Be Wednesday. She's in this show, Bagwine. She's in the show. Yeah. Tim Burton directed like, I think half the episodes. It's really well made. It's not like they didn't skimp. They go to locations. They like it's really well produced. So it's
I've
a
heard
fun
nothing
show.
but like really positive stuff.
Colin Farrell winner.
Here you go. I'm super. How many of these movies have you seen? I know you saw Banshees, but you haven't seen Babylon. Did you see Glass Onion, White Noise in the Menu?
I haven't seen White Noise. That's on the list. I've seen The Menu and I've seen Glass Onion. I love all of those. I love Glass Onion. I think it's great. I think Benoit Blanc is one of the greatest characters created in modern cinema history. I think he's a phenomenal character. The Menu, I actually really liked, I think, a lot more than other people. I think the ending, you can kind of take it or leave it, but I was in for the ride. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I haven't seen it yet. And I was going to watch The White Noise, and the podcast that like I really love, one of my favorite podcasts that's non-sports related is The Watch from The Ringer, and they were talking about White Noise and how they explained it. I was just like, oh, I don't think I need this. I don't need to do this. And not that it was bad, but just kind of how they talked about it. I was like, I don't think I need this. I have seen a lot of this. This is on HBO, by the way.
It's on HBO Max.
I saw a lot of this. I'm going the other way where I was like, if they try, because you're saying I thought Knives Out was far better. I just thought it was like a completely different movie. And I think if they tried to do Knives Out again, it wouldn't have worked in the way that they it just wouldn't have worked the same way. Like I think they needed to have a twist on it. And that's why I liked it, but I like Knives Out better, but I still really enjoyed it.
We're on the same wavelength. I thought the same thing. I don't think you could, I didn't think it would have been a bad choice to try and make the same thing. They're clearly trying to make it a little bit of a franchise, right? But I think it needed to be its own thing. I liked all the performances. I liked a lot of the characters. I liked Ed Norton. I liked a lot of the different things. It was just fun. It was a fun movie with fun characters. Each one was unique. Like Kate Hudson's really odd and weird and fun. And
you know what though? This is the one thing I said this to Kelsey, and she kind of disagreed. So maybe I should just kind of stay away from this take. I think I want to see Kate Hudson play smart. Like I feel like I've seen like her do not, and I think this performance is unique in the sense that it's not like all of her stuff, but I feel like it's all a certain twist on the same thing. And I was like, I don't know. And whatever, she probably had the time of her life and it was so much fun. And I'm like, well, she should play a little smarter. And she'd probably be like, shut the fuck up, white dude.
Yeah. Like, I had fun doing it. What are you talking about? Like, like maybe she thinks like I am smart in real life. So me doing a character like this is a stretch.
Yeah.
So it might be that. I don't know. I thought it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a good time at the movies. So, oh, Daniel Craig's accent is amazing, Veronica. What are you talking about? Benoit Blanc. I do declare. Your take honestly, is misinformed.
If you turn the dial a little bit more, it's Jason Sudeikis from that SNL sketch of Maine Law, where it's all taking place in Maine, but they have like a New Orleans accent.
Yeah. Well, it's a little. Wasn't there an animated character from back in the day that speaks like that? Like
Foghorn Leghorn.
Yes. So I mean, it's a little.
I'll try it.
Yes, that's it. Oh man, no, his accent is incredible, Veronica. That's what makes him part of the character so much enjoyable. But anyways, I get it. I think Knives Out was great, and people had preconceived notions on what was going to be. So, anyways, whatever. So yeah, watch The Menu. It's a interesting movie. I'm not saying it's a great movie. It's definitely worth a watch, and you'll decide if it's for you or not. Like I said, ending, I could take it or leave it, but I didn't know anything about the movie. I was like, I just heard people saying like, hey, you should probably watch it.
Yeah.
I watched it cold, and I enjoyed the journey. Again, I don't know that I enjoy the end, but I enjoyed the journey enough that I was like, I still like the movie because of the journey that it took me on.
I find that actor very interesting too, Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah,
so
he's great. There's a lot of good actors in that movie too that you'll be like, oh yeah, they're good in this. It's an interesting movie. It's definitely worth the watch. Michelle Yeoh winning Everything Everywhere All at Once. That movie I've not yet seen.
Yeah.
So it is top of my list to watch for many months. It's been a very busy back half of the year. So I haven't been able to do it, but now like I'm in the zone of watching everything.
I'll report back tonight. Tonight.
Margot Robbie, and Anya Taylor-Joy, she's in The Menu. She's good in that. So I mean, I think this probably makes sense, but again, I have to see the movie. But there was nothing that really stood out to me that was like, oh wow. Yeah. I don't think they got slighted. Austin Butler, where are you at on Elvis?
Oh, dude, I find that dude so unlikable in everything I've seen him in. and you know what's funny? That movie's not for me anyways. Like that's an airplane movie for me. Like if I'm on an airplane, I'll probably watch it. And every interview I've seen, I'm like, oh, this guy seems awful. He seems like a terrible hang. He seems like he's like, yeah, dude, I just was like Elvis for 40 years and I didn't talk to my family. And I was like, but for that movie, like I don't know. He just seems insufferable. He seems like too many people I know. And I'm sorry if you're about to tell me he's like entering the MCU.
No. I just love it. I like hearing this. I like hearing this take.
And they were like, "Oh, he's on SNL tonight." I'm like, "Pass. I'm not interested." And like maybe he isn't that bad. Maybe he's not. But it's just like the clips that I've seen. I'm like, "Oh, I can't do it."
Yeah, I get it. What I'll say is I get it. I'm not advocating for him and I'm not defending him. And I'm, he went deep into character to get into this role, which I think you need to do for Elvis.
Sure.
But you're taking on such an iconic character and in US history.
Literally the only time it's been okay when someone's done that is Daniel Day-Lewis.
Right.
Like I can't remember another time. It's like, you know what was awesome? When that guy turned into someone else for 8 months. Like that usually ends in someone being like, yeah, we need to cancel that man. Like that's usually how that ends. Except for Daniel Day, it worked out. And then he retired after like 6 movies. Right.
There was the only other person that I know in recent times that had done that was Chadwick Boseman for Black Panther.
Yeah.
He stayed, I don't want to say he stayed in character, but he remained kind of a little T'Challa off camera in between, like during production, he spoke in the same Wakandan accent the entire time.
Oh,
he
no
never
kidding.
took it off. He kept it on the entire time. He never took it off because he wanted to
Stay in
he
that.
knew
No,
how important it was. How about that? Like, makes
Yeah.
sense, you know?
Yeah. Especially
But
for
yeah,
accents. Like I do understand accents.
right.
I
You
get
want to
that.
stay in it. So look, The Whale, I haven't seen either. I know everyone loves Brendan Fraser's performance in that, so I got to see that. And it's
Yeah.
also Darren Aronofsky, which is interesting,
Mm.
which I think piques my interest even further. But I don't know how crazy it gets. Darren Aronofsky makes crazy movies.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard of The Sun or Living or The Inspection.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of any of those.
Yeah. I don't know if I've heard of Living. I've heard of The
Mhm.
Sun, but I haven't heard of Living. Stuff I got to look up. Kate Blanchett for Tar. Everyone's yeah, her performance is brilliant, is what I've been hearing. So again, it's on my list. I haven't watched a lot of stuff, but I've watched a decent amount of stuff. What I know about Tar, I don't know if this isn't spoiler, but it's what the movie is.
Mhm.
It's a character that you think exists, but technically doesn't exist.
Mhm.
So you're like, oh, I thought they were portraying, like, I thought it was like like Elvis, like that. It's a
Right.
movie about that person. This is the movie about this person, but this person doesn't exist.
Interesting.
Like, it's not like they're not a real composer. It's not a real person, even though it feels like it's an autobiography or by whatever it is.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, therein lies the genius in it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, we're gonna make you think this person exists. You're like, oh my god, I didn't know anything about. No, that person doesn't exist.
It's
They're not a real person. So I think it's trying to be clever, which actually does make it clever.
Yeah.
The Woman King, I've heard, is super underrated and really fucking good.
I honestly haven't heard of it.
A lot of people have told me, like, just don't sleep on it. It's really good. So that's on my list as well. I did see The Fablemans. Did you watch Fableman?
No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that either.
It's very contained. It's good. It's Spielberg. It looks good. Like a lot of cool. I don't want to say cool. A lot of nice performances. Spoiler alert. It wins. It wins. Yeah. But it's good. It's worth a watch. It's just it's a small movie. It's a small.
Yeah.
I don't want to say small. It's the wrong word. It's a very contained movie. But it's a little throwbacky. It'll kind of give you warm and fuzzy vibes, families and Christmas and childhood and your love for movies. And there's things where he falls in love with movies he's never really seen. Like, oh my god, this is amazing. I want to do this. And he tries to make little mini movies at home. And he has like train sets and makes his own. Like it's inspirational. It's a solid movie. It's worth watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll check that one out. I haven't heard of Blonde. I do love Ana de Armas though. So
Blonde she's playing Marilyn Monroe in this movie.
Oh, I don't want to watch any more Marilyn Monroe stuff.
That's what it is. So there you go. Best screenplay, motion picture. I think all of these are fine.
Yeah.
I think this makes sense for being what it is. But Spielberg, I mean, I wouldn't have been mad at that one.
No,
I wouldn't have been mad at a little Avatar.
The Avatar. Yeah, no. Yeah. Oh, and did Avatar get shut out? Did you guys win any like CGI stuff?
No, not for this, but knock on wood, I'm confident we'll see some stuff for the Oscars. But this is a good one. I think this movie is going to be, maybe not for a director. I shouldn't say that for director. But Spielberg, obviously, it's hard to fault anything Spielberg. I think Avatar is incredibly shot from a director perspective. What he did in that movie is just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This is an interesting category. We'll see where it goes. More limited series. Lily James nominated, didn't win. She was great in Pam and Tommy.
I ended up not watching Pam and Tommy.
Too LA for you.
What'd you say?
Too LA for you.
Yeah, no, it wasn't even that. I just was like, I just couldn't invest the time. I almost did it. I did the same thing with that WeWork show. And I was like, I almost did it, and I was like,
I didn't do that one. I almost did it, but Pam and Tommy's good. Is it? It's not great. It's not great. It's good, and she's just incredible as Pam. And also, I think it gives you a little bit more backstory on like what we just might have assumed. Like Tommy Lee has turned out to be like, it was like, and they addressed this in there. It was like positive for him, like huge dong confirmed. But for her, it was like really embarrassing, and it was hard for her to get jobs after that. And anytime she was on set, people were looking at her because of this, and it was,
Yeah.
you gets into some deep shit. And fun fact, I'm actually
We're excited for this.
I'm acquaintances with Tommy Lee's wife, who is Brittany Furlan, who's an influencer who I've worked with for many years.
Oh,
She's
wow.
come to like a lot of events and stuff, and she's married to fucking Tommy Lee, which is like
Wow.
wild. She's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do show in LA. The crew, you gotta come. I'm like, yeah, that'd be
Wow.
kind of dope.
You know, what I saw
yeah.
though, I saw because and you know what, maybe it was, I don't know any of this, so I don't know the truth to any of it, but maybe it was done so they could spin something else off, right? But I just remember seeing her like not having any input in that. And now she has like a documentary coming out, I think, too, about the whole thing. So I imagine it's gonna be the other side of that. That was the only thing I remember hearing.
And that's probably fair. I didn't hear that, but I would say that it's not like it makes it seem like everything is okay.
Right.
Jump shoot. Came in for the right show. It's worth a watch.
I will take a look. I will.
It's worth a watch. Limited series. Evan Peters for Dahmer.
Dude, Evan Peters is awesome. I will say, and I've watched. Man, I'm basically a white woman where I really do like true
White
crime.
Lotus.
True, yeah. No, I love White Lotus, so I definitely am a white woman.
Yeah, that counts, yeah.
But like just true crime pods like that, they can suck me in occasionally. And this show was a little too far. Like it was.
That's what I've heard. I never saw it for a lot of that reason, to be honest.
Yeah, and he was awesome in it, but it like went. And I never do this, but I'd be like, oh, you know what? I skipped like, I'll skip ahead. I'll skip like 15 minutes. I know where this is going. But he is awesome. I mean, he's good in
I do like him.
He was one of the best characters.
You know what? I just started that show. I didn't realize he's in it. Should I continue it? Should I keep it going?
Mayor of Easttown? No, one with Kate Winslet? Or are you thinking the Jeremy Renner show?
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah. What's that called? Mayortown or
Kings of No, isn't that Mayor of Easttown?
No, Mayor of Easttown is
what the hell is the name of it?
Kate Winslet. It's a Mayor King Mayor, something like that. But Mayor of Easttown is an HBO show with Kate Winslet, Evan Peters, Gene Smart.
Someone's gonna correct this in it. Mayor of Kingstown. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We skipped over Amanda Seyfried here, but I haven't seen the Dropout.
Sometimes too, if I've already listened to a podcast that the thing's based on, I'm like, oh, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah.
But I heard she was awesome in it.
We'll keep things going here. I want to get your take on a few things, but Zendaya winning, which I've heard it was like a no-brainer. I can't watch Euphoria. It seems too much for me, and I've heard for like parents and stuff like that. It's like, woo! It's like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Kids from back in the day.
No,
that movie I probably shouldn't have watched. I think I was probably about the same age as they were in that movie when I saw it. Shouldn't have watched it. It's definitely scars you a bit. I understood the difference between right and wrong, but it's like, it's like, man, if you're a parent, you watch Kids back in the day, you're like, shit, this is what kids are doing right now. I'm never letting my fucking kids go anywhere. And I've heard of Euphoria is a little like that.
Euphoria, like at least the first season, right? Zendaya is Michi. Dom, that is. Oh my God, that was so good.
Wow, throwback.
Also, shut up, Dom. Look at that avatar too, Dom.
Wow, looking down. He's looking at his YouTube plaque right there. Look at the red YouTube icon. Look
at 100K subs, baby.
Look at that.
Wait, those are high school, like season 1 at least. They're in high school, right?
I didn't watch Euphoria. I don't know.
That was my concern. I didn't want to be be watching like hot high schoolers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're all of age. Not that it makes me better,
but
I get it.
I don't even want to live in that illusion. Though.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I get it. That's not what they're trying to make you believe. I hear you fully. I'm agreeing with you 100%.
Yeah.
But
Sydney Sweeney as a young adult, sure, I'll watch a Sydney Sweeney movie or show. As a high school student, I'm not interested.
Yeah, opting out. Like it's just not going to be for me. And there's a lot of drugs and all this kind of stuff. It's I'm not. That's not my vibe.
Yeah.
But I like watching stuff like this to just see what it is. But Euphoria, I feel feels heavy, really heavy, and I don't know if I wanted to take that on.
I'm looking up at the next one here. This sucks. You can't sell me.
This is what I wanted to ask. This is where I wanted to go. You're talking about best performance by an actor, right? This is where we are.
So like I watched The Old Man, and the first like handful of episodes, excellent. Like I really liked them. And then it got bad. It turned into a bad show. Bob Odenkirk should be winning for this.
This is what I was going to ask, because I feel like you had a very strong opinion about this. So go ahead, take it away.
Better Call Saul was incredible, and Bob Odenkirk, like the fact that he turned this, I mean, not just him, like the entire ensemble and the creators or whatever, they turned a bit part in a show 15 years ago into this like incredible thing. And it's just, so that's bonkers to me that Kevin Costner is going to win this. Because Bob Odenkirk is so good. Adam Scott,
that's a fair take.
I love Severance, like, and I love Adam Scott. Like, come on, man, what are we doing?
I think it's like the show, we got to put him in there.
Yeah.
The Bob, I think you make a very fair case for Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul. I think and or being nominated was nice. I don't think it was going to win.
I was just going to ask you. I do love Diego Luna, dude. So here's the thing, man. I watched the first episode of Andor, and everyone I've ever talked to loved it, and I am not out on it. Is it just really slow? Is that what it was? Like, do I just have to keep going because?
Yes.
Okay.
It's. When we released it on Disney Plus, we released 3 episodes at launch. It was not just 1 episode, and that was by design. Big launch, almost treat it like a movie. Watch all 3 episodes, and then you'll know if you're in. Yeah. It really gets cooking by about the 4th, 5th episode, and then it's a roller coaster till the end. I don't want to say roller coaster, but it's great. The first 3 episodes are a little tough sledding. By the end of the 3rd, things pick up, and then you'll know what you're in. But I think it's just getting into the mind state that this is a very, very different Star Wars movie show. It's not, lightsabers. It's not lightsabers. It's not all these characters. It's deep in the weeds, but it's great down the line. Also, there's maybe this will get you by about the 3rd or 4th episode. I think it's the 4th episode. Your buddy from The Bear, the cousin, is in it.
Oh, really? Cousin? Wait, hold on.
Cousin. Hey, cousin.
That was incredible that you just said that, because I was going to go back to Dom Zendaya's Michi. Dom is who I was referencing earlier about is out on The Bear. So now I need to know if Dom was here for our Bear talk earlier.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes, and this. But speaking of Dom, he is still here. How much of the Star Wars uni do you need to know for
none? Because absolutely none. That's the thing. So if you approach this show as like if it was made for FX or it was made for Hulu or even HBO, that's what it is. It feels like it should be on HBO. It feels like it should have been an FX or Hulu show. It's almost weird when you see the spots and everything, and then it ends with the Disney Plus logo at the end, because it just feels very, very different. It's much more grown up and adult and serious. Like you almost wish there was some F-bombs in there and stuff. But it gets a while to get there,
All right, the next time we do this, I'll be caught up. I do love Diego Luna too. He's great.
Yeah, he's great on it.
And I agree too with this Mackins too. I love, man, Severance was. Oh, saw his most recent comment. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to say on this one, I like it. I like the movie. I think there's really good performances. I think manage expectations going in to watch it. Like I think the hype of it right now is, and I don't want to say the hype, but it's nominated for a lot of stuff. So you might be like, oh wow, I need to watch it. And then I think you might be like, whoa, what did I just watch? Just understand going in. It's also a contained movie, but it's a little dark. I think it's good. Yeah, I think it's good. So yeah, Costner took it home over your man. I'm gonna start Yellowstone finally. Yeah, I'm gonna start Yeah, I need an itch scratched. Hold on, Mike. I know you got a take on this. I feel like so. I go ahead. No.
I know my take is just that like you can't get me to care about it. Like you know what I mean? Like we're herding cattle, and it's like I've seen this show, but everybody else I know. My parents' age loves it. Like I know that they love it. They love Kevin Costner.
I've heard the same thing.
It's probably a great show. I'm not gonna get there.
I'm gonna give it a shot. So I love shows or series in these places that I've never been to. I live in LA. I go to the coast. Yes, I get it. Hate on me. But like I love Justified. It is my favorite show of easily of the last decade. It's probably further than that. I'm so excited it's coming back. I'm rewatching it. That's how much I love it. It is my absolute favorite show.
Great show.
I love unabashedly The Tulsa King on Paramount Plus. I think that show is so good.
Andrea Savage is in that, right? I love Andrea Savage.
It's a great show. Yes, she is. It's a great show. So point being, Lexington, Kentucky, Harlan, that's where a lot of Justified is. Tulsa King, Tulsa, right? It's like I like these shows in these places, and I like
if it's named after.
Yeah, no, I mean, Justified is not, but yeah, I guess
that's where you were going. You're
Yellowstone.
Like, Yellowstone's in Yellowstone. Yeah. Boston Public is in Boston.
I know it's a thing. No, I like stories where it's like backwoods, people that know each other, that that there's illegal shady shit going on, and it speaks to me. So it's and this is a good comp right there. That get you going, Mike?
That would get me in there. I will say, speaking of Succession, I'm so excited for that to come back. It is filming like right outside Kelsey's work right now. And Kelsey was she was basically like, well, I think I know a spoiler based on where it was filmed. And I was like, all right, relax. It was one location. I don't know if you know.
I love it. She's got the tea.
Yeah. And I was like, don't tell me. I don't want to know. And she's like, yeah, but don't you want to know where it was filmed? I was like, no, I don't. I don't.
No, if it's true, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, also Deadwood. Look at that. Timothy Oliphant. Like, yeah, same thing.
Shout out Timothy Oliphant.
I like Westerns and stuff. So I'm looking back to see if there's anything in the chat like this. Yeah. Dom said he thought Banshees was a little bizarre. But yeah, I think that's a great summary of it. So if you watch it, Mike, go in with this mindset. But yeah, now Yellowstone has like 1883 and like 1923. I think it's got like all these spin-offs, right?
One of them just got canceled, I think. I forget which one it was that just got canceled. Yeah, that dude, what's that dude's name? Taylor something?
Yeah, Sheridan, right?
Sheridan, yeah. No. That person's made like 14,000 shows now that are like all running at the same time.
Yes. And I've heard that they shoot with 5 cameras at this, like they do the same shot from 5 different shots. So that they can keep pumping out the content. So it's like, we got it. We don't need reshoots. I could use this angle. I can use this angle. They shoot the same scene from 5 different things. And my buddy was interviewing, what's her name? Who's in, 1883? Who's in like, God, she was just in something playing the villain, or she's in Shazam playing the villain. Why am I blanking on it?
The Shaq movie?
No, not Kazam. God, I'm blanking on her name. Legendary British actress. Anyways, he was interviewing her, and she mentioned that it's a very unique scenario that they shoot, and it's 5 different cameras all at once. Yeah, baby, get a little bourbon. Get a little bourbon going.
Did you, as I'm seeing, like is this the last one for TV? Did you watch White Lotus? Were you in on it?
I never watched it. I never saw it. It didn't pique my interest, but I'm getting the hype from it now, so I'm tempted to start it. I love HBO. I don't know.
I'll say I didn't watch. I watched like a little bit of the first season, and then for no like reason at all, I just kind of like fell off. But it wasn't because I didn't like it. I just got busy or whatever. But forced myself to watch the second season without finishing the first season. Like I just went to the second season. It's awesome. It's so fun. It's so dumb. It's just, it's wonderful.
Do you need to get to the second season?
No, you don't even have to watch the first season. Like you don't need that. It's like an anthology. So you can you can jump in with the second season if you want to.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. There's like the only Jennifer Coolidge's character is the only thing that carries over. And I don't even think you need to know much about her character from the first season in order to watch it.
Bagged wine, you win. That's who it was, Helen Mirren. He was interviewing Helen Mirren, and she was talking about the shooting process that happens on that show.
Oh, that's right.
5 different cameras.
Because isn't Harrison Ford in that too?
Yeah. And that's what they were talking about. She said it was a very interesting process, very weird, but I think that enables them to be like, we got the shot some way. We're going, moving on.
Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap this up because we're going. But Abbott Elementary again.
Oh yeah.
This was nice. Some nominations in there for some of these shows that we like.
Mm-hmm.
House of the Dragon winning. Where are you at on that? I didn't start it. I stated my thoughts on this. I did Game of Thrones. I absolutely loved it. I went to many panels at Comic-Con in Hall H. I just didn't want to return to that world again. It's a lot, but I've heard this is good, and I don't know.
I watched the first like 6 episodes and I was done. I couldn't do it anymore. They stayed.
That's what I thought.
They stayed in the same room. They were in the same room for like hours at a time, and I was like, "What am I watching?" I know. Apparently it got a little bit better. You know what though? You got to be good in the first 6 hours. I've given you 60% of a season. You can be good by then. And
I'm on board. I'm on board with that take.
So next time I get like the flu or something, I'm sure I'll finish it. But I agree. How is better the finale? Better Call Saul was so good. It was so good.
It's a good take. I did not want to jump into the show. I don't think I will. And I think you're right. Like, I was very surprised to see it win. I did not think it was going to win.
Listen, if you guys liked it, all right. Maybe it got better at the end. It was like time jumps too. Like I'm not a huge fan of like just all of a sudden it's different characters, but I don't know. I'm sure I'll finish it. I'm sure I'll finish it. But I just don't. There's no world in which it was better than what Better Call Saul did.
I think that's probably the take. I think that's probably the one. I look, at some point maybe I'll get back on this, right? And I'll join back in Westeros or whatever and do all this and make the plunge. I just didn't have the energy for it. I just didn't want to do it again. I'm like, we did this. I don't know. But I'm sure at some point it's going to start cooking. And you know what? That's when I'll jump in. I'll start to binge and I'll get back into it. But
and then we'll come back here on a Friday at 4:00 and we'll apologize and we'll say,
we'll say, you're right. It's amazing. You guys got to watch it. And it'll, we'll be those. You guys will bring this YouTube link back up.
Also, Poker Pro Eric, this is the worst take. This is the worst take. It's not the last season was so good. Anyways, Dustin, this was great, dude. We need to do this more often.
Yeah, this is I'm gonna end it here. There we go. Motion picture, these are, they split them into comedy and everything, but it's interesting where this one's gonna land.
Top Gun, do you think it's going to win best motion? You think it's going to win the Oscar?
I think it's going to get nominated.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, I honestly, I haven't watched it yet.
You haven't seen Top Gun Maverick?
No, I just like...
What an asshole.
I know. I almost did. I almost watched it on a plane and I fell asleep.
No, I would have threw you off the plane if you tried to put it on and watch it on a plane. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm going to get in my Christopher Nolan bag and be like, why don't you just watch it on an iPhone 1? Why don't you just watch it on that? Maybe a Nano? I got an iPhone Nano. I'll download the movie and you can watch it on that. And you can use some Skull Candy earphones to listen to it on. You want to do that? You want to watch Top Gun like that?
I don't know. I don't care. I like miss the window of nostalgia. Like I wasn't.
That's like a fair point. You're a little bit younger than me, a lot younger than me. But I get that.
Yeah.
Here's what I will say. All of the people that work for me on my team, they're way younger than me, like way fucking younger. They all loved it. They all enjoyed it. It's a fun movie and it's well made. Fucking watch it and don't watch it on an airplane.
Okay.
Don't watch it on a phone. Jesus Christ.
I'll watch it. I will watch it by the time. So I got to watch that, and then I forget what the other thing that I need to watch before the next time.
I don't know what this movie made like $1.4 billion. You haven't watched it?
I know. No, I haven't. I think I am such a like deep Mad Men fan, and I love John Hamm so much, and I feel like he hasn't done anything good since, and it always bums me out. And I know he's in it, and I know I'm probably gonna get bummed out. And I just want John Hamm to be good. Like I haven't even watched Fletch, which I like the original Fletch, and I haven't watched the new one yet.
What are you gonna be bummed out about? Right? That he's in this, and you're like, he's not the lead, and
no, that he's just not good.
He's fine in it. He's not the star of it. He's fine in it. He plays a good character that like busts balls. Yeah, he plays an asshole.
I don't care that he's not the lead. I just don't want him to not do a good job. You know what I'm saying?
He's fine in his role. He's good in his role. He plays an asshole, and he's good at doing that. And but it's a very small role. It's not, it's not a big role. That's not you're not going to watch Top Gun to say I need to see fucking John Hamm. What are you talking about?
I'm not a huge Tom Cruise guy. I don't really.
That's
care.
Fine too. It's just the movie. The movie is really well made and it's good and it's like holy shit.
I'm sure it is. He doesn't drink.
Oh my god, no. He might have a beverage with him when he's getting pissed off at him.
I did. I watched like the first 10 minutes. I'll watch it. I'll watch it eventually. I will.
God,
this is great. Dustin, anything else, dude? What's going on? Can we do this like every other week? Can we
I want to. Yeah, I want to get back in it. I feel like now is a good time for a lot of it. We didn't even get, so we did all this, but I think it'll be fun to talk about other movies because like Megan came out. I want to see if people saw Megan and their thoughts on it. There's other things in the works. We mentioned the Jonah Hill and Eddie Murphy movie, right? You People, that's a good one to watch. So there's a lot of other stuff that's coming out. There's another show I'm blanking on the name, but we can get to it another time. But it'll be fun to catch up and see what everyone's watching. And talk
we need to get Greg, see what Greg's watching, see what weird baseball games he's like checking out right now.
Greg's got some random stuff.
We haven't heard from him in a while in the chat. Do you think he got called in to jury duty?
He's in. He's officially there. Yes, he's there. He is in jury duty right now. Yeah. So
all right, guys. Well, if you're here for some So Rare stuff, we're gonna be back in like 25 minutes doing some live before lock. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Dustin, it was good to see you again, man.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be back
again. All right, we out.
See you guys.